caused them to realize that the role in which her husband currently is in is not the right one for them, and that it is causing him to feel drained. With him leaving this current role, it leaves Felicia in a place where it's unknown what her next steps will be. She has had this title of being a pastor's wife and mother for a very long time, and now all of that is changing. It feels as though she's giving up a part of herself, and it was a career in which she found it to be her calling because she was serving God. So it's hard. Though this job has been very rewarding for Felicia, she has not had a job since she was in high school, which makes it a little bit scary for her to go back on the job market and put herself out there again. She doesn't know what it looks like and how, and it can be intimidating. Though she is very good at interacting with others and being somebody who enjoys the company of others. She states that she is not fond of having to go back to school, first due to her age and also the finances that go along with it. Her life all of a sudden changing is a bit scary, so she doesn't know what careers are out there that best fit her passion, her interests, her strengths, and the skills that she has gained thus far. Felicia is hopeful, but again is hesitant. In terms of her addressing factors, she's 34 years old. The only thing that is stated is that she has anxiety. She is Christian. Her ethnicity is unknown. She's heterosexual. Socioeconomics is unknown. And she, her indigenous heritage that's unknown. Her nationality is American, and she does identify as being female. So in terms of the career assessments and strategies and resources, some of the things that came into mind right away was the strong interest inventory. I think the strong interest inventory will be very beneficial to Felicia because it will help her look at various occupations, work activities, and interests, and kind of see where she fits. This will help her look at things that she might have not already looked at in terms of an occupation that is a possibility for her. And then the self-directed search is the Holland's typology theory. This one uses basically like it's self-recorded and it is self-administered, but it's to help the individual find the occupation that matches them the best and rank them. And then the next one is the Strength Finder assessment. This pulls out all her natural talents and traits, and it helps put them in the forefront so that she can see them. It does look into her patterns of behavior and feelings, and it puts them into different strength themes. So that would be nice for her to see what her strengths are and what she naturally is good at. Then there's the value scale. The value scale measures her her occupational values, her ability, her utilization, and it is helpful in terms of looking at her personal development and her social relations. This is long. It's a 105 item questionnaire, and it basically helps find a job that lets the client see what values are important to them in core ones, and find a job that better aligns with that, so she's not compromising her values. And then the career development inventory. This one would be beneficial to Felicia because it, though she's ambivalent of what the future holds, whether or not she has to go back to school and like the financial burden that goes along with that, and what career is even available to her due to her current resume. This helps us to see what her readiness is to make that next step towards finding a new vocation and making educational decisions. And then next, the ethical issues and diversity. I do not have much information on the client's cultural background, and therefore I cannot foresee any diversity considerations. I would make sure that Felicia is being heard throughout the sessions and that she is being respected. I'd make sure that she feels safe and help her feel as though she's being seen throughout the process of finding her new job. I would help Felicia see that though she has already been through higher education and is in a place in her life where she is ambivalent of what needs to happen next, there's still so much out there for her to pursue. I will help the client find a job that better aligns with her values and is enjoyable. The client does enjoy working at her current church and being a pastor's wife, but cannot do it on her own. Felicia has financial needs that need to be met and is looking for a career that will both make her happy, give her a purpose in her life again, and is not contingent on her having to go back to school again. The new job, though, does need to be something that Felicia feels as though is her calling, and that somehow her values are aligned with it. In terms of the treatment plan, the first goal is that the client will take time to explore what is important to her and the life she wants to have. The objective is that the client will reflect on what is important to her and who she wants to be as a person. The intervention for that goal is that the counselor will work with the client to make connection between the client's past aspirations and then future ones. The second goal is that client will identify blockers that are keeping her from pursuing a new career. The objective for this is that the client will identify her blockers and work towards confronting them. The intervention is that the counselor will help the client identify her blockers. And then the third goal is that the client will create a return to work checklist. The objective is that the client will write down her strengths and skills. The intervention is that the counselor will provide strengths-related assessments to the client and help her better understand her skills. Some solution-focused intervention one of them that I found to be very, very helpful for this client, or would be, is the utilization of questions. The coping question is going to be helpful to Felicia because she does have many life experiences and has worked in her current position for the past 6 years. Therefore, she has had to deal with different problems. And so this coping question helps to identify her resilience and ways in which that the client copes with problems. And how she can better cope with her current state of the change in her role as a pastor's wife and the need to seek out another profession. The miracle question is a big one. This helps the client imagine a future where their problem no longer exists, a future in which they do not have to worry about their financial needs so much, but they're living out their dreams in a sense, because there are not all these other things going on. This problem is no longer prevalent. And then the best hopes questions actually are both beneficial, I believe, to the counselor and the client. This will help the counselor gain more information as to what the client hopes to achieve and get from her counseling services. It answers many questions for the counselor, and it helps them make a concrete treatment plan that does align best with the client's interests and their needs for therapy thus far. And then some discussion questions that I have for everyone. The first one is, how can we help Felicia get past the thought of having to go back to school? I feel like also due to her age, this is very difficult right now. She has already started a job. She has already gone through getting her first degree in undergrad and did an extra year. So I feel like it's a time in her life where she thought she would not have to think about school anymore, but be more further down into her career. And now she's contemplating whether or not this means that she has to go back to school and seek out something else. So do you think that, how do you think we can help Felicia get past that thought of having to go back to school and not just seeing it as a financial burden, but maybe it can be beneficial? The second one is, what are other strengths that can be highlighted to help Felicia see she's capable of starting a new career? I understand that her anxiety does come into play in terms of having to go back into the workforce in something different than what she did go to school for and what she thought God put her on earth to do. But what can we do to help her understand that she has the necessary skills and strengths for the positions, and that she can find something that better aligns with her values and what her current needs are. And then lastly, what other factors can you think of that may be holding Felicia back? These can be both environmental factors and social factors, anything that you can think of other than her current status that may be affecting her ability to think of going back, and is holding her back from just jumping into her new position. Well, her search for a job. Okay, well, that's all for my presentation. Thank you for watching.